Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I've got some fun penny black products today. I made a card recently using this demure stamp and had a few questions about how I did it, so I just thought I'd make a very similar card and just explain things as I go a little. And it's basically a layered card, so lots of embossing and layers and cardstock. So I've also got this stamp here. This is called Swirled. It's a background stamp. Really like this stamp. It's so different. There's nothing out there in the market like it. So I thought I'd use this as part of my background. And I have some vellum here and prepping that with my anti-static tool. And then I'll stamp out some Versamark ink onto the actual stamp. It might be just easier if I lay the vellum onto the stamp rather than try and flip the stamp over. I've got some gold embossing powder. This is the Wow Pale Gold, Pale Metallic Gold. I'm loving this. I haven't had a lot of success with gold embossing powders in the past, so really enjoying how this one embosses. Doesn't leave a lot of embossing powder elsewhere, like a lot of the other gold ones do, I found. I'll just hit that with my heat tool. So I'm using one of the design papers out of the Painted Blooms paper pad. So I'm really just eyeballing this to get a rough idea. I might be able to cut it down a bit later on if I find it's still too big. And I'm going to emboss these flowers in gold directly onto the design paper. So using my Versamark ink again. And this time I've just used my Fiskars stamp press because it's quite a large stamp. Oops. Now to add colour, all I'm doing is adding it directly to the design paper, and I've got white and I'm going to be using some purples as well, and it'll just give it that subtleness. One of the things I like about this technique is that you can see the subtle patterns of the design paper coming through in the background. Looks great. Even if you've got a patterned design paper, you can just give it that real wow factor. So I'm using my pencils just to blend the colours together again. I'll list all the colours that I use at my blog, and you can get there through the description link below. And next I've got some glitter paper. This is from DCWV and it's the pastels stack. And just working out how I'm going to layer this up now. So I'm thinking maybe I'll cut my original panel down a little bit. And then I'll cut this swirl background. So this is another DCWV cardstock stack. This one's called Foiled. And I've got Congrats die. It's from the Hooray Creative Dies set. And I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine. And now it's time to start assembling my card. I've got a top fold card. The finished size is 15 by 10.5 centimetres. I'm using my stamp runner. I'm keeping this fairly loose. I'm only putting tape in the middle. And I'm going to turn the edges up just a little bit, give it a bit of dimension without adding any foam. And just adhere my last layer of my panel on. And to adhere my sentiment, I've got my Tombow Mono. I'm just going to add some small dots all over the back. And finally I've got some self-adhesive pearls. And these are from Queen & Co. Well, that's my card for today. It's a really simple technique using your Prismacolors directly onto design paper. Just gives it a different look. So until next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.